Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to LEGO Space. Back with another update on the front part of the stern section here. Um, Ran into a lot of complications with not looking far enough ahead, having to change a few things. Once I got those issues figured out, then it was just the pretty complex deal of getting all of this um, inner workings in for the power wheels here. And so these have two functions. They steer and they power the motion of the Titanic. And I'll show you guys. So you see when I turn that, all this stuff's turning up here. And then you guys can see the wheels steering in there. And then the connection that's going to go back to the rudder. So that way the rudder actually steers with the wheels. Now, that was pretty complicated to get all that in there and get the worst part was getting things lined up. Basically, you build a little jig, which was actually this right here, and you apply it here and put a shaft in there to keep this part of it straight as you're lining up. And then the hard part, the first hard part, was getting this shaft right here with these two, this tan gear and this black gear, lined up, and making sure that the wheels were lined straight in there, and making sure that the shaft itself was coming out straight. Getting those gears to line up was kind of a pain. And then this shaft, or this axle for the rudder, the gears off of the top of that for the rudder, that was another not fun thing to try to get lined up, just because this whole assembly is kind of put on in one go, and I actually had to take it off just in a section and try to get that back together and take some time and line this up. So yeah, definitely some complications, and a little tough to do some of that and try to get all that lined up. Had to take some things apart a couple times to try to get the shaft back out so that way I could realign stuff, and it was kind of a headache, but past all that, thank goodness. And you guys can see we have steering, and then in the top right here, this is where the actual power is going to go, and you guys can see how that functions. It's basically just a gear-to-gear axle. You guys can kind of see it in the bottom there. And then there's going to be a support piece that goes across the bottom of this to keep that from wanting to pull forward or backwards like that. So, but yeah, so we're past all the really hard stuff. Hopefully. There's still a lot of gearing and stuff to get in the other end here. But this is more the crucial, making sure everything is straight, lined up, and working properly. Like I said, all this up here was a real pain in the butt to get back apart, having some issues just lining stuff up. But we're past that now, so happy with that. And then you guys, if you guys remember when I tore the ship apart, or if you haven't seen that video and you want to go back and check that out, check out when I had the stern apart. Right where these wheels are sitting is right where the turbine sat, so that's why the turbine is no more. You guys can see I have no more hallways going back into the turbine area, because there's no point in that. There's no ability to do that anymore, really. But we still have some good, nice detail here. I do have to get to a point here to where I can get these wall sections back on that I saved from my original build. Try to tie all that stuff back in and make sure it's strong. We have to redo the whole middle support here where your key slides down into, because that gray part was that, and you guys can see how different the whole base of that is now with having that shaft run through there for the steering. So we're about to the point where we're going to start rebuilding this onto this. But I figured I'd do a little update on just all the mechanisms that are packed in here. It's pretty cool. Like I said, other than lining the axles, making sure the axles are in the zero position when everything's supposed to be lined up and straight, that was really the biggest headache. And then just my own mistakes with trying to build ahead and not noticing that things were a little different. Like I had these boxed all the way up and out, and I didn't realize that I needed these spots for these clips. So I had to kind of tear all that apart. I've had to tear a couple things apart more than once to try to fix some mistakes. Just basically me building too far ahead too quickly on some of that. But so far so good. Everything's looking really good. Everything's supported really well so far. I'm not don't have any concerns with anything being not strong enough to support anything yet. Like I said, I've been trying to fill in some of those gaps, make myself some better back walls in the engine room, make sure all that's supported really well. And so yeah, guys, there's another update. A lot going into this front section, the forward section of the stern here. A lot going on. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the update. Hope you guys are kind of enjoying the view into what's going to make this ship work. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and until next time, take care.